I wonder if a skull will be happy that I acknowledge that I'm his best XCOM unit.
That'll make his day.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't named any of my XCOM people because I get attached to them.
I don't want my friends to die.
Yeah.
It's like you don't name livestock, do you?
Right. Same reason.
Would you name a sandwich?
I did once.
I call them Tasty.
Oh, I think I'm going to eat you, Joe.
I dubbed the Porkinator.
Draw your sword, knock your arrows, and ready your spellbook. It's time for another episode of The Gamesmen. What role will you play?
Greetings, guys, gals, and guildies. Welcome to episode 97 of The Gamesmen. This is the show for the week of December the 10th, 2012. I am Steve Conger, also known as JSS Lyfeliek, on basically every gaming service imaginable. And tonight, we are going to reprise the role of snarky industry pundits. And who else would be by my side? I think we've said this before, Dan, like slung as a gun in my holster at my hip, Daniel Knappman, Hardlydan.
Hey dude, how you doing?
What is up?
It's a bit sweaty here in your pocket.
Yeah. Do we have to make a middle pocket joke again?
Oh god, no.
Yeah, no, okay. And special guest, joining Gamesmen podcast again, CPMatthew, CPM.
Hello, Dan and Jeff. How are we?
Again with the Jeff shit, huh?
Always. That's your new name. I know you've already picked out a name, but I still think you should name your first son Jeff.
Oh yeah, she'd kill me. The J part would work. That's perfect. But
it'll just be our secret.
Yeah,
we won't tell her.
I'll just call you Jeff.
There you
go. So, Chris, what is going on in the life of CPMatthew?
Well, real life is quite busy as usual. Semester's winding down here, so termins are coming up and all the things that go with that. And, of course, getting ready for the next semester. Always good fun. My last semester as a teacher next semester, and then I get to go do something else for Uncle Sam.
Wow.
We'll see what Uncle Sam wants me to do next. It's always an adventure, waiting to find out what Uncle Sam wants you to do next.
Yeah.
Gaming wise, are we there yet, or are we just life wise still?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we'll probably spend most of the time doing our little feature, but yeah, game wise, what's going on?
Briefly, I've been playing Halo 4. Recently dove into the multiplayer with the G4TE folks. That was good times. And I took advantage of the Steam sale and picked up a few things, namely The Walking Dead. And yeah, very, very. I've only played the first episode, but really enjoyed that. And I've also picked up The Mark of the Ninja, which is really good as well.
Now you realize that you have to play all 5 of those episodes by next show, because episode 98 is Dan and my super spoiler section.
Spoilerific.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now that's going to be challenging. We'll see if I can get it done.
Not if you're Daniel Knappman. You're
yeah. If I could get myself a gaming laptop between now and tomorrow, I could probably make that happen. So probably not going to happen.
I mean, can't you just make the kids just like say, hey, let me leave you to your own devices?
Listen, kids. Yeah.
Hey, kids. They're not kids. That's the problem.
Yeah, they don't quite have that. I mean, the 2-year-old, he's about to where he can entertain himself for 10, 15 minutes at a time, but the 6-month-old, no.
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
No, he's about 2 minutes, and then he's like, hey, all right, I'm bored, and I can't move myself, so you need to move me somewhere else.
I can't move nothing but my bowels.
That's right. I can scream, I can eat, and I can poop. You pick which one you want. Yeah. Good times, though. Good times.
Dan, how are those heating panels holding up?
Yeah, they're not too bad. I've got a fire going at the moment. Managed to get some logs, so it's not arctically cold in my house now. It's just cold.
So some might say that you're stoked.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wah, wah, yeah.
Giggity.
Totally stoked, dude.
That's just terrible.
That was TRBL completely.
Yeah, I took advantage of the humble THQ bundle.
Yes.
We mentioned it on the last show.
Now,
and
there were a few
they've added
additions.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get them, and I didn't get the email from them to download the soundtracks or anything.
Did you pay over the average?
Yeah, I got Saints Row the Third.
Okay.
But if I'd have waited a couple of days, I could have got Titan Quest as well.
No, I think you still get it. They sent me an email that said it's been added to. Go to your download page, and if you paid over the average, you get it.
I've got a funny feeling I put the wrong email address in.
Oh, you dick.
Whoops.
Yeah, I know. So I'm going to have to email them, and I've got the PayPal receipt and stuff. So
yeah,
hopefully they'll be able to sort that out.
Maybe they can just give you a unique link or something like that you can go to.
Yeah, because I'd really like to get those soundtrack.
Yeah, that was the first thing I did was suck down those soundtracks, man. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, I got that email today, and Titan Quest and the DLC for Red Faction Armageddon, right?
Yeah. Now I've downloaded and installed Saints Row, Red Faction, and Darksiders.
Okay.
But that's as far as I've got.
I haven't done any of that. They're just added to my Steam registry, and that's it.
Yeah. I already had Metro on there. I'm kind of waiting for my upgrade before I play Metro, because I want to be able to push it a bit more.
Yeah. It sounds like a pretty good call.
Yeah, and Saints Row's waiting for Lee, because he's getting his internet back by the time this goes out. Hopefully he'll be back online. So, I know.
It's about time.
He wants to play some Saints Row with me, and Gary's going to play some. So not sure how many people he can play. I think it's at least 4.
Yeah.
So it could be a laugh if we get a 4th in there.
I could join in if you want, but I think, are you talking about Saints Row or Saints Row the Third?
The Third.
The Third.
I think in story mode you can only do 2-player co-op, but in the Horde mode you can do, I think, up to 4.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, we're going to be having some fun on that anyway. So
it's a good time. It is a right laugh.
I really want to check out Company of Heroes. I've been looking at a bit of it. It seems like quite a fun little RTS.
Yeah, see, that's the one that I couldn't care less about because it's RTS. I mean, it's just not my thing.
Mm.
But
yeah, well, I like to dabble with them now and then and fail horribly.
Yeah, I mean, for basically free, I mean, you can't beat it.
Yeah, I just wanted Saints Row, and I would have been happy to pay $6 for that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Getting
bundle.
everything else was awesome. Yeah.
I mean, as much as everybody's up in arms over it, I don't have a problem with it because I think it's a hell of a value. So
yeah, and if it does help THQ, then so much the better. I'm not entirely sure on the figures still.
Yeah, because they're in a bad way. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, guys. Well, you want to get into some 3-word associations, huh?
That's what we're here for.
All right, guys, so let's start in July. And the first one that I had down here, and I assume that I will probably be the only one that has anything for it, The Last Story, one of the Operation Rainfall games, the second in the trilogy of games that gamers tried to petition Nintendo to bring to U.S. shores. Sadly, I think I was right with my prediction that Pandora's Tower wouldn't make it over here, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. So, but The Last Story, my 3 words were where Square would. I just can't help but think that with Sakaguchi and with Uematsu, these staples of the Final Fantasy series in days past, that this might be where Square would be right now. And I think it would be a welcome change for a kind of stale franchise. I don't know. Did either of you guys have anything?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Final Fantasy?
And that was the talk around the web was that it is sort of a play on that.
It seems pretty obvious that it is.
Yeah.
I entered something in for all of these, even the ones that I didn't play. So since I had no idea about the first one you listed, I just put, so what's that? That's my 3 words.
That sounds pretty good. It's good enough. So we move on to the only other sort of significant July release that I could come up with, and that was Deadlight, which was Xbox Live Arcade, right, Chris?
Yep.
Did you have anything for that or no?
I didn't play this one. I did look at it. I'm not a big zombie genre person. Like, the only one I've really enjoyed in the zombie genre has been The Walking Dead. So my 3 words for Deadlight were zombies with mohawks, because it's set in the 80s and it's about zombies. So there you have it.
You and Dan will get along fine. What about you, Dan?
Deadlight? Buy new batteries.
Well played.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Although, shouldn't it be Dead Torch then?
Well, yeah, but it's a light.
Oh, potato.
No one says potato.
We're going to get back to that again. What about August? The first game that I had down here was the Sleepy Dogs, man. Sleeping Dogs. And I put high resolution textures. Like, I'm not a GTA guy, but that's the only thing that has me interested in this, is the high res texture pack on the PC. Sounds kind of yummy.
I kind of agree with you. I'm starting to move towards my Xbox friends will probably burn me in effigy, but I've been gradually moving towards the PC for this reason. The PCs are just so far ahead of the console hardware right now. Like, I played Skyrim on the PC for that reason. It just looks so much better.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, the combat's still wooden and stiff, but it looks
Skyrim.
better. Yeah. So what'd you have, Chris?
Well, it's a cop game, so I catch the bad guy. So I started to write about this. It seemed like one of the overarching themes of everyone who I talked to about Sleeping Dogs with was the whole, you're kind of this ruthless cop.
Yeah.
But you're after this guy, and it's like, I'm going to kill 17 people on the way to catch this guy. So it's like, the rest of the sentence is at all costs, right? Catch the bad guy.
Yes. Yeah, very good. I like it. Dan.
Well, it was one of those games that loads of my friends kind of were really into, especially here in the UK, and I never touched it, so I don't really know much about it. So I went for Sleeping Dogs, Let Them Lie.
Touche. That's
words of wisdom.
Yeah, yep. That's pretty good. I like it. Those are pretty good ones. Those are all better than mine. One from Danok TQ. He says, for Sleeping Dogs, Chinese GTA filler.
Yeah. I like it.
A little buying you some Chinese time until GTA 5, I guess.
Might even, GTA Chinatown.
Yes. Sound like Ed McMahon all of a sudden.
You are correct.
Yes. So the second one I had down here for August was Transformers Fall of Cybertron. And Chris, I know you were a huge proponent, as was I, of the first game.
I really enjoyed War for Cybertron. I played it on the Xbox. I think I'll probably play this second one when the price comes down. The multiplayer I wasn't as into, as I just kind of liked visiting these characters again.
Yeah. So
I haven't played this one yet, but I sort of understand from the title and from the previews that they have to leave. So my 3-word association is sad, homeless robots.
Oh, Dad.
I played the demo, didn't really enjoy it, so I haven't really written anything. I guess not my bag.
Yeah.
Would be my 3.
Copy paste.
Yeah.
Mine was Steam Sale Bait.
Yep.
I can't wait. Two 3-word associations that rhyme. I'm super excited about it. Like, I wanted to play it then. It's just, this year I promised myself that I wouldn't buy any other games except for, Wii U. I'll just save all my money for Wii U. And I've actually, aside from the old Assassin's Creed 3 Black Friday thing, I've stayed true to what I was going to do. So the Steam sale at Christmas is going to be huge for me.
Oh, yeah. I love the Steam sale. Who doesn't love the Steam sale?
Oh, my God. It's going to be ugly. So now, obviously here's another one that's sort of unique to me, but New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the Nintendo 3DS, and my 3-word association was should have known better. I fell into the whole, hey, get double Club Nintendo coins if you purchase this game digitally. And everybody's saying that it's easy, it's way too easy. And man, it really was just paint by the numbers. You could tell that it was a bunch of the up-and-coming, Nintendo game design faithful, and it was sort of played even more safe than something like a new Super Mario Bros. U. So, Dan.
Sod you, princess.
How many times can it happen?
Exactly. She needs a tracker on her ankle or something.
She is pretty gullible, isn't she?
Lindsay Lohan tracker. Here, you two hang out.
Oh, God. Chris.
I put another number 2. I think the way they name these games is funny. New Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah.
Of course, we all know there was an old Super Mario Brothers 2, but anyway. Yep.
I don't know. Like for me, I expect New Super Mario Brothers 2 to be more of a play on the Doki Doki Panic sort of original Mario 2, right? Like all of those 3 games, 1, 2, and 3, were all completely different, and it just doesn't seem like that is happening anymore. I don't know. So, Darksiders 2, huh, guys? Huh?
Yeah, I just got one, which is basically what I wrote, because I've just got the first one. So I'm going to play that first.
What, got first one?
Yeah. So, yeah, until I've played that, I'm not touching 2, so I can't really comment on it.
Not there yet.
I guess that makes sense.
I put Death Rides again, because that's all I know about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really touched it yet either. For me, it was expect deep discounts. Honestly, I think post-Christmas, like obviously Steam sale, and I even think on the consoles, let's face it, Jason Rubin has his work cut out for him as president of THQ now, right? I think they're going to make the call and say, look, if we can move a bunch of these at $30, you know what I mean? If you can pick up Darksiders 2 on a Steam sale for $20, are you kidding me? It's a great deal. So, honestly, if the Humble Bundle sale is a cash grab for them to have to make like an end-of-year payment deadline, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to get some cheap Darksiders 2 at the beginning of the year. Probably. I don't know.
Let's hope
It's a good bet.
Yeah.
It's a good bet.
Now, this is one that's near and dear to this show's heart. Guild Wars 2. I'm interested to hear what Chris has to say first, because I almost know what Dan's is. At least I can take a guess.
My brother's been after me to play this one as well, and I'm refusing just because of my obsessive personality. I know if I was to get into one of these MMORPGs, I would be never getting laid.
You already got a couple kids, man. The days are over.
Right. Yeah. I still need to have some fun every now and again. Daddy's all pent up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. All right, Dan, I know you're chomping at the bit.
Yeah, I put Be Right Back, because whenever you mention it, I feel like I want to go and play it. So, yeah, Be Right Back.
Why talk about it when you can just go play it?
I mean, there's so much that I've already said about it. It doesn't need any more, I suppose. If you're not playing it yet, go get it. If you can't play it by PC, go get it.
See, and that's the thing, Chris. No monthly sub?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And it's not as MMO-y as every other MMO.
Yeah, it's not as rigid. It is a lot more loose in structure. And I think the thing that I like about it the most is that you're just there's that constant feedback loop all the time. You're constantly getting XP for everything you do. It's great. My 3 were proved me wrong. I was not excited about this game at all. And, we've even said it on the show before when we talked about it. I was so disappointed when they said, yes, Guild Wars 2 is going to be an MMO. And I said, MMO, Jesus, my life is over. Because I know how I am. That's the reason I never started playing World of Warcraft, because I would live in a giant cardboard box alone with an extension cord run to it and a heater.
Be like Bork living in your van.
Exactly it. right, guys, so September kicks off with Mark of the Ninja. Chris, you said you just picked this up, so what do you think?
I put Clever Stabby Mario.
That's pretty good. You actually made me snort on that one. That's pretty impressive.
It's my goal in life.
It's my secret ability.
Yeah, it's good. So my first introduction to the platforming game, and I think probably most people's first introduction to the platforming game, was the Mario series on the old NES. So whenever I see a side-scrolling platformer, I think of Mario when I was a kid. But Mario didn't hide in the shadows and stab people in the throat.
Not that you know of.
Not that I know of. So this is a much more interesting, and actually I'm not going to talk too long about the game, but I find it very interesting to try to get through the whole level without killing any of the guards, which you can do in most of the levels. So yeah, anyway, that was me.
Cool. Dan.
Yeah, another one of those games that passed me by, but I went for, because he's a ninja. Didn't see him.
Ninja Parade sneaks through town unnoticed.
Yeah, it was a ninja game for me. Completely passed me by.
Passed me by. That's another good one.
Yeah.
Mine was, and obviously this could hold true for just 5 seconds ago, heard great things. That's all I really heard was good things about Mark of the Ninja. Why I never picked it up? Probably because of my my stiff and solemn vow to not buy anything. So next in September, Borderlands 2. And we had a couple from the community. Danok TQ, he says, heard it's better. GamerGirl27 says, so many guns. And Godhands PS2, he says, only bought one. He only bought one game this whole fall, and it was Borderlands 2.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah, you'll at least play it for a while. Mine is Steam 4-pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally in our plans. I know that.
It would be a great candidate for that. If you could find 4 people who can wait.
Yeah, I can wait. I just need to find 3 other people like me. I know I got Dan. That's fine.
Well, I've already got it. So if you can find 2 other people.
Well, I know Gary's thinking the same thing, isn't he?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And I mean, I would assume that a 4-pack on the Steam sale is probably going to be $60.
Yeah, probably about that.
By that point. So for 15 a piece, who cares? 15's great. I mean, even if it's 80, who cares?
Yeah, it's still a great deal.
What the hell's $20? Yeah. So, Dan.
Must play sometime.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. And, and the thing is, I sort of used the free PlayStation Plus version of Borderlands 1 as sort of like the methadone clinic when people were talking about Borderlands 2. So I kind of got through that. And now it's just waiting for it to be, a pretty good price. But, Chris.
I have 2. The first one is bought it twice. Because I did. I bought the Xbox version to play with the G4TE folks, and I bought the PC version to play with my brother. So I bought it twice. And after playing it twice, I put bigger, badder, better.
Okay.
Because it was more Borderlands, just bigger, better, and badder. I had to put the badder in there because they got the badass ranking system. You can earn skills and things, but yeah, it was, they kept the same formula and just improved on it. So well done.
Cool. So next on the list, something we waited for agonizingly long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Torchlight 2. Chris, did you get a chance to pick up Torchlight 2 or no?
I did, which is how I came about my 3-word association. Forgot about this.
It's funny that you say that because mine is pile of shame.
Yeah. It's really a file of shame, right? It's when you have a Steam library, it's easy to forget about, you don't have all these discs stacked up and your wife like, when are you going to get rid of all this shit? So, I bought it on sale and I haven't played it yet. So maybe I need to jump in there.
Well, I mean, it came out at the same time as Guild Wars. What do you want me to do?
Mm.
Really? Like, if you'd had this out a month earlier, I would have played the snot out of it. I don't know. Dan.
Guild Wars 2.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I played a bit of the beta when it was out. And really enjoyed it. Then Guild Wars 2 came out, and I've played 10, 15 minutes of Torchlight 2. I feel really guilty about it because it's obviously going to be so much fun.
It's really good.
Yeah, but all the little references that I came across in like it was about an hour I played it for, I guess. But hilarious, there's so much in there. But
yeah,
I just can't stop playing Guild Wars 2.
I know. I'm
sorry.
So the last one I had down here was the expansion for World of Warcraft, Mists of Pandaria. And my 3-word was, really, Blizzard? Really? Like, okay. So full disclosure, I don't know anything about any of the ethos that surrounds World of Warcraft because I never had any desire for that. But pandas, man?
Yeah, apparently they are part of the lore.
Yeah.
And have been, since day one.
Just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Dan.
Well, mine goes kind of straight on after yours, actually. With still doing this.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's sort of easy to take World of Warcraft and kick it.
No, it's getting on.
Titan, who knows what Titan's going to be? Their next MMO. I shudder to even think. But I mean, it's going to have to be free to play, right?
Well, maybe, yeah. You'd hope.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, Chris, what'd you have?
Aren't they endangered?
Oh my God. And, I totally assume that the content is probably good content and everything, and there's probably nothing wrong with it. So, but I guess we did disclose snarky, industry pundits at the beginning of the show. So, all right. So let's scoot on to October. NBA 2K13. My 3 was couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't care.
Sounds about right.
Dan.
Don't do sports.
Yeah.
Games.
Or games. Chris.
Little bit taller.
I've got a horrific song going through my head now.
That is what we call an audio bomb. You're welcome.
Yeah.
That may get the blue ribbon for the night. I don't know what to see. How it progresses. So Resident Evil 6 and Denok TQ, he says, "Oh God, why?" That's a pretty good one. Chris, what'd you have for Resident Evil?
They made another?
I guess I kind of fall in line with you as shell of itself.
Yeah.
It just ain't what it used to be.
The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I don't know. You either nurse her back to health or shoot her and make glue. One of the two, or dog food. Dan.
Why?
I still want to play it. I mean, is it wrong? I kind of like the lore, even though it's not really lore. I don't know. All right, Chris, your time to shine.
Yeah,
XCOM Enemy Unknown.
This was my baby. I've been waiting. Well, I had been waiting for this game ever since I heard about it because, as I've said hundreds of times, I played the original and loved it. So my 3 words for this one were perfect classic remake. My brother and I both played this game a lot when we were kids, and when the demo first dropped on Steam, we both agreed that they did everything right. So well done and thank you.
I liked the demo. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would, because it's, I mean, you would think that that's kind of my genre, but it's not. I don't know why. But mine was, has me intrigued. Could be a Steam sale thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
I really like the demo. I just don't know if I get into all that resource management and stuff like that. So,
Fair enough. It's not as resource management intensive as you think it is, but we're not here to sell games. We're here to play roles.
There you go. And to keep things fresh in people's minds for Game of the Year stuff. Dan.
Yeah, I've got the demo, haven't played it yet. And I went for XCOM Game Unknown.
Game Unknown. Oh, you're making Chris angry. You wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Yeah, you won't like me when I'm angry. I'll reach through the internet and choke you.
Oh, God. So, Dishonored, and NDRky89, he made up a word called, Didja. Did you see that?
That's in the Redneck Dictionary. Jeff Foxworthy talks about it.
So my 3-word association with Dishonored, I know this is like the theme of the night for me. Steam gift cards, man. That's what I want for Christmas. It's all I want. Dan, what'd you have for Dishonored?
Well, I really want to play this on my PC, and it's going to struggle, so I went for Need an Upgrade.
Need an upgrade. Oh, you could have put that for probably just about all these.
Well, yeah.
You need an upgrade pretty bad, man.
Yeah. Hopefully in January.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice to build a new machine. Christopher!
Yeah. I've heard a lot of comparisons between this and Assassin's Creed, so I put not quite Ezio.
I tell you what, man. The more I hear about people talk about it and, when it came out and listening to people discuss it on shows and things, even though it's first person and I kind of just go like, to first person stuff anymore because there's just so much of it. It sounds interesting. Yeah,
I'll play it eventually. I think maybe the Assassin's Creed comparison is not quite accurate. It's probably more BioShocky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll play it eventually. Not at $60, but
yeah,
eventually.
Chris, so Forza Horizon.
Need for Burnout. Yeah.
So have you played Need for Speed and this both, or no?
I have not played Forza Horizon.
Okay.
I didn't pick it up because I didn't like the sound of it. I like the very technical Forza Motorsport. So maybe I need to be open-minded and give the demo a try. But it sounded to me, from everything I've heard, that it's just kind of a burnout type thing, and that's not really, what I like.
Dan, did you try both of these demos, or?
I've tried the Horizon demo, yeah, and it is a little bit. Well, I didn't tweak with all the settings. I mean, it feels very much like Forza 4.
Okay.
But with a nice open world environment to tool about in. It's kind of fun, but I went with new tricks because it's got Xbox Smart Glass, and I can't use it because I haven't got the game. So it's the only thing I thought, I might try it. And then I thought, no, I'm not buying any more Xbox games. Sod it, I'll just wait till something like that happens on the PC.
Well, and I think that sort of goes hand in hand with mine, which was no gold subscription. I just let it lapse. I haven't, I'm telling you, I got a half a mind to build a really kick-ass PC next generation and just have my Wii U for 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it sounds crazy, and I'm going to miss out on a lot of the PlayStation franchises that I like. But right now, the only thing that I'm looking at is Last of Us, and I think that's all I need for right now. I mean, who knows what's going to come after that? But it seems like Uncharted could be done, and if Sony Bend makes the rest of them, I don't even care to play them anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But
yeah, I'm a similar mind. I'm just skipping out the whole Wii U bit.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, but if you're me, you get cranky with no Nintendo exclusives. Yeah.
Well, I've got my original Game Boy sitting by my bed. That'll do.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, Chris, come to attention. Attend Hot Medal of Honor Warfighter.
I put they keep trying. It seems to me that EA has a successful Modern Warfare competitor in the Battlefield series, but they really want to make the Medal of Honor name. They really want to bring it back. It seems like this one and the previous Medal of Honor game were both big disappointments. So keep trying.
Isn't this has to be the end of the Medal of Honor? Doesn't this thing die off for 3, 4, 5 years and then they bring it back somehow?
Yeah,
probably. I mean, the name still carries some weight.
I guess so. I don't know. All Medal of Honor carries for me is, oh god, these are 2 shitty games. Ugh. So I made up a word here. Actually, I didn't make it up. I used an acne term, zit. When zit enough? I mean, can we hang it up, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan.
I don't know. I haven't actually written anything for this because it was such a poor game. All the reviews I've read, the bits of it I've seen and played, and it's just 3 letters would do.
POS.
Well, MEH.
Oh, either or.
Yeah.
So, with me only having about 90 minutes invested, Assassin's Creed 3. My 3 were hopes are up. My emotional investment is through the roof, and I know I'm gonna get stroked because of it. You know? Like Denok TQ, he says, finally, the conclusion.
So we think.
Isn't there gonna be another one next year?
Surely there'll be another one.
Dan, what'd you have?
Couldn't be asked.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have the money. I was going along with it for long enough, and I was kind of excited to see where it's going. Now it's been too long, and I don't really care.
Well, what about take the money out of the equation?
Don't really care.
Okay. Okay, Chris.
I put something better happen. I might be the only person on the planet who actually cares about the modern day timeline.
No, you're not the only person.
No, that's the one thing that I really cared about. And
okay.
Yeah.
So I hear a lot of people who just don't care about Desmond and his story. I actually find it somewhat interesting. And so I know there's a lot of frustration because they moved the story forward a little bit in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, but not really in Assassin's Creed Revelation. And so I think people are starting to get impatient.
Yeah.
So something better happen.
On the heels of, or maybe I should say on the white coattails of Assassin's Creed 3, what about Liberation for the PS Vita? I put possible frame rate issues. Like, every time I see video of it on the web or something like that, it seems like the frame rate is not terrible, but just under 30 enough to annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but it seems like a lot of fun, and it seems like the reason why I would buy a PS Vita if I were to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that shit probably ain't gonna happen. But I'd be lying if I said that bundle on Black Friday for $180 with PlayStation All-Stars and Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation didn't at least tempt me a little bit for $180.
So it's interesting that you say that because my 3-word association for Liberation was might move consoles.
Yeah.
If I was going to buy a PS Vita like you, it would be because of this game. But I'm not likely to buy a PS Vita because I'm just not into portable handhelds. So that's just not me.
Well, see, I still want one, but I'm afraid, like, after I would play Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, or at least get my fill of it, let's say I would play it for only 6-7 hours, what else am I going to do with that thing?
Just rather hefty. You could probably bludgeon somebody with it.
That'd be, I don't know, is there a worse way to die? Maybe that's it, I don't know.
I'm sure there are several, but...
Dan.
Yeah, I don't actually think it's really going to be something that's going to shift units, so I've gone for not a console seller, or,
Not console seller, yeah.
Yeah, because I think most people that like Assassin's Creed will probably go for the big boy version.
Yeah, you're probably right, yeah.
So, I don't know. A Vita could be a great thing, but I'd be in the same boat. I'd play again and then be like, oh, my wrists are getting tired. I'll sod it, sleep.
right, so November, and we kick November off with Halo 4. Chris.
I put finally a character.
Yes, a little bit of development.
Yeah, I think finally they're going to give the Master Chief a little bit of a personality and make him part of the story rather than just a walking camera with a gun.
Do you think it's going to work? Do you think is there any part of you that thinks that there is potential to kind of screw it up by doing that?
Well, there's absolutely potential to screw it up. I think they've done a good job of setting that up in Halo 4. Have to see where they take it from here.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of interesting avenues they could take now that they've sort of set it up.
Now, for me, my 3 words were Metroid interests me. Like, that's the only reason I want to play this is because of the Metroid Prime team members. Like, that's what interests me. Like, I love that art. I think it's great. And you know me, I'm not a big Halo guy at all. I bought Reach because, basically because I'm a peer pressure influenced idiot, basically. Okay? I mean, I'll just throw that out there. I'm not a big Halo guy at all, but I guess I did have my one night of fun with Halo Reach, and so Dan.
I went with pew pew pew.
Pew 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 pew. I kind of figured that was going to rear its ugly head at some point tonight. Pew pew pew. All right, so Paper Mario Sticker Star on the 3DS. Chris.
A Snickers bar?
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yes, it is. I do like Snickers bars, though.
Me too, especially frozen. Yummy.
Fried bars.
Dan.
Do you trade these?
Oh, you guys.
Idea, man. It's
you
not.
guys. So, mine was, damn you, marriage. Because I've had this pact with my wife since we got married that I don't buy anything for myself in the month of December because I will inevitably buy things that people are going to get me for Christmas. Yes. So, yeah, as long as I want to stay in good graces, I do not buy myself anything from December 1st until December 26th. So, it's only a few short weeks. Actually, they're pretty fucking long. All right, so a big one for the community here. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. ND Arky says he submitted 2 of them. Join my protest as one. And the second one was boycott Ollie North.
All right. Not a fan, I take it.
Not a fan. Denok TQ says renamed COD Zombies. Just call it COD Zombies. That's it. And Gamer Girl 27, she says love combat training. So yeah. Dan.
Waiting until birthday. Because my mate's buying it for me and we're going to sit down and play it all day and get drunk. And it should be quite fun.
Chris.
I put actually, it's 11. I counted them up, and this is the 11th game in the Call of Duty series. So don't allow yourself to be fooled into thinking, oh, it's Black Ops 2. No, Call of Duty 11.
So are you still anti Call of Duty or?
I don't know if anti Call of Duty is. I am not a fan of the series. I recognize that they are very well made games that people really enjoy. I don't enjoy them, so I don't buy them.
Mine is intriguing branching paths. I think I'm going to play through it just to see how branching the branching gets.
I think you're going to be disappointed.
I mean, you're probably right, but I kind of still. I don't know. The Call of Duty was part of my horizon broadening project.
I like it.
To kind of get out of your comfort zone a little bit and play some things that you don't normally play.
It's very modern of you.
Yeah, I know. It's so metrosexual of you. So Lego Lord of the Rings, Dan.
Cute, blocky fun. It's less blocky, but it's so much fun.
Yeah, I know. It looks great. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Chris.
It's so good.
They shouldn't speak.
Oh, See, now Dan used to be where you were, and then he kind of came over to my camp.
I'm still not so sure that they should speak, but especially using the dialogue straight from the film. That
was what took me right out of it when it was the Lego characters. So it's right at the beginning. They set it all up, and it's right after the scene where Aragorn falls off the cliff, and they're all sad and weeping. And he kicks the door in, and he's got a fish between his teeth, and he shakes his sleeves out, and fish fall out. It's like, oh, good. There's some classic Lego humor. And then all of a sudden, they're like, now for wrath, now for ruin. And like, what? No, it doesn't work. Anyway, sorry, that was a long rant.
So GamerGirl27, she says, play it now. And my 3, finish Batman first. Because I know she's going to force me to finish Batman first before we play it.
That's right, it'll be cheap by the time you get to it.
That's right, probably not. So, back over to the PS Vita. Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified. And I put for mine, derp, derp, derp. Because if the PlayStation Vita was a person, he'd be standing on his nuts all the time. Every time he'd be stepping on his own shit, right? And you finally get a Call of Duty, and it kind of sucks. I mean, I don't know this for fact, but it's not 60 frames per second. It's, go down the line of grievances.
Buggy AI, tiny maps.
Yeah, it's
glitches
basically
in multiplayer.
Reskinned Resistance, I guess, because it was a nihilistic game again. But I don't know. Chris.
Given that Assassin's Creed Liberation might move consoles, Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified probably will not.
It might even get people taking them back.
That's right. There's something wrong with this console. What's wrong with it? This game sucks.
Keep your receipt. Dan.
Waste of time.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Moving to the Wii U side of things, Zombie U, and my 3 were made a mistake. I should have bought it. Man. I should have got it instead of Scribblenauts, and I didn't. Jerk.
Yeah.
Chris.
No more zombies.
I know.
And I put that down, but then listening to a few other podcasts talk about this game, it actually sounds kind of interesting. I'm not going to go buy a Wii U for it, but if I happen to be at someone's house who has one, maybe I'll buy this game for them as a present so I can check it out.
Yeah, it sounds neat. It definitely sounds neat, and I am IR sad a little. Yeah. Dan.
Steve missed out.
Yeah. Thanks. Just kicked me right in the ass. Yeah. So, New Super Mario Brothers U, Chris.
New U too?
Desire. Never mind. Daniel.
Yeah, that's one I haven't got anything for. I couldn't think of anything witty or punchy to say. So,
so mine was It Gets Better. The first world and a half are kind of run-of-the-mill. Then the difficulty kind of ramps up. And it's something that was completely missing from New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS, which was easy from beginning to end. It was like disgustingly easy. So it gets better. And let me just anecdotally throw this in here. And sort of apropos of nothing, but Miiverse. Okay? You know how in New Super Mario Bros. U, I don't know if you've seen video or not, there are little balloons with Mii heads on them. And that, if you hit the L shoulder button, it will show what people have posted to Miiverse about this game on the specific areas that you're around. So it'll give you like little tips, like third star coin was difficult, or, something like that, right? So I go through this one stage, and I get through it without getting hit, or I found something. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a secret exit. So the game prompts me after I finish the course, and it says, "Would you like to write a little rhyme about this stage and post it to Miiverse?" And I'm like, "A rhyme? Sure, I'd love to." Right? So I come up with something like, I think this was the gist of it. It was like, if you wish to find the secret goal, keep your mini mushroom to fit in the hole, right? Sounds normal, okay? Sounds
kinky.
Do you know that they tagged that a spoiler and completely deleted it?
Oh.
Somebody reported it as a spoiler. The Miiverse administration deleted it, and then I put a reply to the bottom. There was something like, "It's not like I told you exactly how far past the mid-stage flag that this was, you know." And then I put that it's hogwash. Like I had to even come up with a word that made me sound like I was kind of angry, but still sound kind of like an idiot. And they deleted that. So, like, I'm sitting here thinking that does Nintendo actually understand what social media is?
Probably not.
And are these just growing pains? I think is the question that I have. So, just a little story that kind of made me angry. So
suppressing my First Amendment rights, man.
I know my first Miiverse amendment rights. It's bullshit. All right, so Nintendo Land. Did you guys have anything, Dan?
Nintendo Land.
Oh, come on, man! Really?
I'm not getting a Wii U. I'm just, it's not. Yeah.
You kind of sound like you're in denial, maybe a little bit.
Just poor and crotchety.
God. Do or dant. So, Chris.
Where is it?
You know what? Believe it or not, surprising emergent depth. Would you ever think that I was going to say that?
No.
So, a couple of weekends ago, I had the nieces were here. You know, Lisa's brother's kids, 7 and 10. We played Nintendo Land all weekend. They stayed, and that's all they wanted to do. We played Mario Chase. We played Luigi's Ghost Mansion. We played Animal Crossing Sweet Day. And then, the great thing I think about this game is, about Nintendo Land, and I think if Nintendo were smart, they would pack it in on every version. Not just the deluxe. Then, like the next day, my buddy Easton Arrow, Bobby, he stops over, and we totally played through the more difficult stuff, like the little Pikmin dungeon crawling RPG type of thing, and we played through Zelda Battle Quest, and it was totally a blast. Like, it's almost like there's a little bit of depth in there for whatever type of crowd that you have there. It's pretty awesome. I'm surprised. Okay, so next, Hitman Absolution. Chris.
I put Picard stabbed you.
Oh, God, Dan.
Yeah, well, for some reason, when I was thinking about this, I just had a flashback to years ago when I was a kid with my dad, and we'd go out on a boating lake in the Tyrone Canoe or something, and they'd have numbers on them. And they'd say one sentence, and it's kind of 2-3 word associations. Come in, 47, and your time is up. Because that's what they used to say. If you're in boat 47, obviously. Yeah, for everything I've read, it's kind of, they've, it's a bit odd now. He's the way he just thinks, you go to kill this guy, and then you don't because you've got one thing in common. It's like, really?
Yeah.
It seems like, I don't know. Trying to give a character that's had no personality a personality is quite tricky.
From everything I've heard, there are a few like higher level environmental elements that are, iffy design decisions, I guess. Like starting from a checkpoint totally resets everybody to the beginning of the map.
Yeah.
All the enemies and things, which is just odd. It's just weird. But for me, I put meh franchise. I have never cared about Hitman ever.
Oh, there were a couple of good games in the series, but
yeah,
a lot of them were subpar.
So everyone says. I don't know. So PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Dan.
Free for all. Which is kind of what it is, really. It reminds me of a lot of other similar games.
Yeah.
But it could be fun.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, it could totally be fun, but mine was just Smash Brothers ripoff.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I think that's apparent completely.
Mm.
Chris.
Following you, I put keep copying Nintendo.
When all else fails, right?
That's right. They seem to be doing all right. Let's see if we can do that. Okay.
All right, so we have 2 for December, and it leads off with Far Cry 3, and I put, sounds neat, but I know I'll play it for a little bit, and it's a first-person shooter, and I'll just be like, okay, I'm done. Like, all the elements sound cool, like the crafting and all that kind of stuff sounds really, really neat, and the spreading fire and all that kind of crap, like, seems like it could just entertain me for hours.
Fire, fire, fire.
So, Dan.
Looks utterly amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it does look good. I mean, I bet, obviously better on PC, but maybe that's a 3-word association for it. Chris.
I put pirates. Really? Pirates?
Hey, it makes a change from zombies.
Fair enough.
Yeah, what do you want? You got your cake and eat it too. And the final game that we had on the list here, Dan, the Walking Dead Collector's Edition. And I just put the Collector's Edition down as a release because it will be released in December. So, what'd you have?
Best game ever.
Now, some would say, is it actually a game?
Yeah, I was having a discussion with a friend of mine about it, and he doesn't put it as his game of the year because he didn't think it was gamey enough. I thought, well, you play it, you've got a controller or keyboard, there's actions you do, it is kind of like an interactive story, but there's definite gaming elements in there, and it is a game.
It's puzzly, right?
Yeah, and there's shooty bits, and everything you expect from a game in there. It's just not as often as one is kind of used to.
And we're going to talk a lot about that next week, but Chris.
I put go get it.
Yeah, definitely. So I brought back the word that I've used in multiple editions of this 3-word association gig, and that word is UTA. Game of the year.
Game of the year. Game of the year.
Yeah. So Danok, he actually did exponential some kind of 3 thing. He submitted 3 3-word associations. First one was Shed Manly Tears, Game of Year, and Hard Copy Collector's Edition. So even though he bought the digital one, he's still going to buy the hard copy. So, which does, by the way, come with the compendium. So I think you can read the comics too, which is totally worth it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've just thought of another one. It goes on with Game of the Year. Run, zombie, run.
So we had a couple of cleanups here in the cleanup slot. Big Rob 029, he says Rock Band Blitz, sad solo career, straight to backlog, man, that's pretty rough, and lofty expectations dashed. He also threw something up there for Racketeer, better with free instead of better with Connect. Hype Train Fail, and Summer of Fail. Ooh. Was Summer of Arcade that bad?
Apparently so.
Well, yeah, it was this year. A lot of the games that got released not as part of the Summer Arcade were leaps and bounds above the ones that were part of the Summer of Arcade.
Was it sort of a Connect shoehorn Summer of Arcade, or?
I don't know right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably. He said hybrid, fresh FPS ideas, internet always disappoints, and shooting robots sucks. And just kind of piggybacking off of our Torchlight 2 stuff, he says, smash loot multiplayer. Who is Diablo? It's a good one. They fixed everything, and my pet rules. So, yeah, some pretty cool stuff. And we have a voicemail from Teflon212.
Hey guys, this is Teflon. I know you guys are doing your 3-word association this show, so I wanted to give you some of mine ahead of time. first thought was Hybrid was crazy jetpack fun. Hybrid was that Xbox Live arcade game. Dishonored. I've played better. I just wasn't very happy with it. Guild Wars 2. I put must play soon because I plan on playing it soon, but as soon as I get a PC that can run it. Sleeping Dogs, I put buy on sale because I think it's a definite buy, but only when it gets cheaper. Resident Evil 6, I put still not interested because I've never been into Resident Evil. For Borderlands 2, I put traded for XCOM because I just didn't like it. And for XCOM, I have, I don't really remember what I have for XCOM. Halo 4, I put best this year because I love Halo 4. Can't play enough of it. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right, Jason, thank you very much for the voicemail. And guys, looks like his favorite of the year is Halo 4.
Can't blame him.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
I figure it probably is. So he said a little bit about that hybrid that Big Rob talked about. Crazy jetpack fun.
Crazy jetpack fun.
Yeah. And he didn't really like Dishonored. I mean, I don't know. Maybe didn't like it is a little harsh, but I've played better. He said, huh?
Yeah.
And yes, Guild Wars 2. Okay. Yeah.
Definitely.
Let's rub that in. Let's get that ingrained into your head. Because you know what? The more I think about it, that's pretty high up there too. I don't know if it leapfrogs Xenoblade Chronicles or not. I don't know. It's hard to say. For me. I already know you, Dan. I already know. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Jason. Appreciate it. Yeah. And you guys can, all of you, if you don't mind spending the money, if you're overseas, you can always call the voicemail line at 412-267-RPG1. So, all right, guys, I think that's going to about do it. So, shout outs, Mr. CPMatthew.
Well, I'll start out by shouting out you guys for having me on the show. I was very happy to be able to get in here before the last hoorah, coming in under the wire. So thanks. And I'm going to shout out Shinyverse over at the G4TE Community Gaming for the Elderly. One, because he's running a regular Monday night Halo 4 session. So if you want to play some Halo 4, feel free to join us every Monday. And two, because he's recently been made a moderator. Well deserved. And that's me.
All right. Beautiful. And speaking of the last few shows, there could be a little announcement coming. Dan, maybe?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, maybe.
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
Don't play with our emotions now.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Who knows? Dan, shout-outs.
Yeah, well, funnily enough, I won a competition again this week.
Oh, my God.
And so I really want to shout out these guys. It's a Twitter at Bundle Tracker. Really handy for tracking things like Humble Bundle and a load of other things going on. Follow them. Well worth a look. And the site that donated the game that I won is Indie Game Stand. Now, I've just been kind of checking out their site over the past day or so. It's really quite cool. If you go to indiegamestand.com, it's kind of like a Humble Bundle, except it's one game every 4 days. And
cool.
It's pay what you want, and a portion of all the sales goes towards charities like Child's Play, EFF, and a load of others. And they gave me Weird Worlds, so I thought, might as well give them a shout out. It looks like a really cool idea, and the game looks like it's going to be great fun. Looking forward to getting my hands on that. You can buy it now for, whatever you want. If you pay over the odds, I think you get something. I have no idea, to be honest. But yeah, check those two guys out.
Cool. You lucky bastard.
Yeah, I know. I should do the lottery.
Yeah, no, because you won't win that shit. You'll win a bunch of shit that don't make any difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like me. So for me, you know what? I want to shout out Club Nintendo this week. So I spent 900 of my coins in Club Nintendo and got the golden nunchuck. It came back in stock, and it showed up at the house.
Got your bling.
Yeah, I got my bling. I was totally going to wear it around my neck. So now
You have a fake plastic gold chain.
Yeah, I know. A fake plastic, fake gold chain.
Yeah.
So now it completely matches my golden Wii Remote Plus. So it's perfect. Yeah, kind of cool. And also my Platinum Status Club Nintendo this year's gift showed up. And kind of cheesy this year. I mean, it has been the last couple of years. But it was a deck of Mario playing cards.
Oh.
Like actual playing cards, right? But they're made of plastic, and they're sort of screen printed on, and they're see-through plastic, so you can see through everything that is not printed on them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so they're kind of cool looking. Yeah, so kind of awesome, and always, VGHub.net. There's a great wealth of gaming content over at VGHub.net, such as Gaming for the Elderly, G4TE.com, where the house special is the Overseas Connection podcast featuring Mr. CPMatthew.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah, go over and have a look. All right, Chris, web for the week to come, PSN, gamertag, Steam, all that stuff.
So you can find me on the PlayStation Network sometimes as CPMatthew. You can find me on Steam as CPMatthew. You can find me on Twitter as OC_CPMatthew. And because I got tired of trying gamer tags, you can find me on Xbox Live as CPM1376. So I guess that's about it. True Achievements, Raptor, all those other things. I'm pretty much CPMatthew everywhere. The Barbecue Brethren. And I'm usually hanging out at the Gaming for the Elderly website. And of course, as Steve mentioned, you can hear me, Greg, Rich, and Mike every week on the Overseas Connection.
And G4TE with the new and improved shout box at the top.
That's right. The welcomed old friend with the new shout box.
Dan, web for the week to come.
Have a guess.
Hardlydan .4219.
Yep, I'll be in Guild Wars 2 or on Twitter. If you want to get hold of me for anything, Twitter's probably your best bet. You're at Hardlydan. Everywhere else, pretty much, Hardlydan. You should find me. What about yourself there?
I am JSSLIFELIKE. That's pretty much everywhere. That's Nintendo Network. That's Xbox Live. That's PSN. That's Steam. That's Skype. That's Twitter. That's... I don't know. I think I used that to enroll in my federal benefits program, too. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm not entirely positive, but yeah. So, pretty much everywhere. So, Dan, pay the bills.
Okay, well, as ever, check our Facebook site. If you click that like button, like Seth McNitt did, we might well read your name out. But if you don't do it too soon, if you leave it too long even, we won't.
Yeah, thanks, Seth.
Yeah, thanks for clicking that button, Seth, and I hope you enjoy our content. We'd like some more voicemails. We've had one today. If any more would be great. We don't have to talk so much, you don't have to hear us. You can hear yourself on the show for once. You can call the RPG hotline. That's 412-267-RPG1.
Thank you, Jason Johnson.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. If you're mute or you're just shy, email us. The email address is thegamesmanrpg@gmail.com. Or you can tweet us. Our Twitter account is @thegamesmanrpg, and we've got some new followers. We've got Terra4Gary, very good for you too. At HB Durfee, DURFEE. And they're the only two. So thank you guys. Thanks for following us. Yeah, nothing witty to say there. So. And don't forget, you can also listen to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/thegamesmanrpg. Got a couple of new kind of followers, not subscribers on there. We've got J D'Angelo, or J D'Angelo, I suppose, 187, and Johnny J Rod.
Yeah.
That's a great name. And don't forget, there's only 3 shows left, so if you're gonna send anything, do it soon.
Maybe.
Do it now.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So that's about it for episode 97. Thank you, Chris. I had a great time. It was nice to get you back on.
Yeah, thanks. I was glad to be here.
3-word associations are always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. So on behalf of CPMatthew, on behalf of Hardlydan, I am Lyfeliek, we're the Gamesmen, and until episode 98, we ask...
What role will you play?
Not fully satisfied with this podcast, please return any portion for a full refund.
So you can run and tell that, homeboy.